The Forgotten Innocents, the murder of the Houghton family. Contextual opening. In the summer of 1999, the small town of Houghton, Michigan, found itself infused with the warmth of community and the simplicity of everyday life, where neighbors knew one another and children played freely in the streets. Nestled near the banks of the Osable River, the picturesque landscape seemed peaceful, a marked contrast to the darkness that lay ahead. The Houghton family, known both for their local spirit and active involvement in community events, was enjoying a typical summer evening, unaware that their lives were about to be irrevocably shattered. Gradual revelation. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the summer night enveloped the town in darkness. The Houghton household, home to parents John and Susan and their 2 children, was filled with laughter and love. Yet, like many others, they bore the weight of unseen tensions, financial strain, the pressures of parenting, and personal insecurity. On June 2nd, a series of unsettling local incidents began to unfold. No less than 3 families reported strange disturbances at their homes, odd sounds in the night, and unexplainable feelings of being watched. While neighbors initially chalked it up to pranks by bored teenagers, an undercurrent of anxiety started to swell in the quiet town. As days passed, a pattern emerged. These disturbances centered around one particular street where the Houghton family lived. Their home, once a beacon of joy, turned into an uneasy focal point. The atmosphere thickened with an inexplicable tension as neighbors grew increasingly anxious, eventually leading them to the local police department. Criminal act. On the morning of June 3rd, the tranquility of Houghton was shattered when a concerned neighbor noticed the Houghton's front door ajar. After several days of vibrancy and community life, the family was shockingly absent. When deputies arrived at the scene, they were met with an unvarnished horror. The Houghton family had been brutally murdered. John, Susan, and their 2 children were found in various rooms of their home. The crime scene was a cacophony of chaos, a devastating tableau that would turn the idyllic town into a sobering reminder of the violence hidden within its fold. Local law enforcement quickly assembled a task force to investigate this shocking act, their hearts heavy with the gravity of what they were facing. Initial evidence suggested a robbery gone wrong, though investigators were acutely aware that motives in such heinous crimes were often complicated. As testimonies flew in from neighbors, one particular account stood out. An unfamiliar man had been spotted lurking near the Houghton residence in the days leading up to the murders. Investigation and consequences. The investigation took several twists and turns. Utilizing forensic evidence, detectives began combing through the family's financial history, anticipating that an economic motive might surface. However, the case remained frustratingly cold as the community wrestled with profound grief and anger. Tensions rose as they sought to understand how someone could commit such an atrocity in their close-knit town. Days turned into weeks, and the sense of insecurity gnawed at the community. But a major breakthrough came unexpectedly when a tip led investigators to a former acquaintance of John Houghton. Mark Peters, who had a turbulent history and was known to have had disputes with John, suddenly found himself the prime suspect. As the investigation dug deeper into Peters' life, it became clear that he had motive. His financial indiscretions linked him to John's attempts to interject caution into his business dealings. With this newfound focus, police traced Peters' whereabouts on the night of the murders, with compelling surveillance footage, leading them to arrest him shortly thereafter. During interrogation, authorities were met with a cascade of tales, lies interwoven with reckless denials, but ultimately, the evidence was insurmountable. Peters was charged with 4 counts of murder. In a show of strength and tenacity, the judicial system moved rapidly to bring him to justice. Peters was convicted and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Reflective resolution. The tragic murder of the Houghton family reopened forgotten scars in Houghton, Michigan. Community meetings were held, allowing residents to voice fears and to comfort one another, a collective journey towards healing. While justice was served, questions lingered. How could something so horrendous occur in a place once brimming with harmony? The loss of the Houghton family left lingering echoes in the lives of friends, peers, and even strangers who had merely watched from afar. Years later, the community remains vigilant, forever changed by the events of a fateful summer day. The story of the Houghton family serves as a somber reminder of the complexities of human relationships, the fragility of life, and the haunting truth that darkness can loom even in the brightest of neighborhoods. In the wake of tragedy, Houghton learned that in the fight against crime, awareness and vigilance can be vital allies, a shared resolve that continues to resonate in hushed, reflective tones down quiet streets where innocence was forever altered.